Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a little chit chat, get ready with me. So if you want to hear a wacky ass story about my life, see how I got this super glowy makeup look, then sit back, relax, enjoy this video, and don't forget, like this video, subscribe below, and hit that notification bell. Okay, we are back. I have a clean face. I have my coffee. Thank the Lord. I'm ready to start today. So I'm not gonna really talk about the makeup I'm using today. I'll list it all in the description box below. Today is just gonna be more about like the story time and just like talking it out on camera, just kind of getting shit out. So I'm just gonna like dive right in. So to warm myself up, because I just woke up and I'm still very, very tired today, I am just going to start with my little story first. Because one, it's so funny, and two, I feel like it'll get me warmed up and in the mood for everything. Oh God, I left my mirror halfway across the sink. Oh, I'm back. So prepared as usual. So we are gonna go back to my past. Gonna go back a ways to freshman year of college, Blane. Now, those of you who know me now and didn't know me then, you're welcome. So I was your average, I would say I'm like pretty much a very average college freshman in the aspect that I came from kind of a smaller town, more of a quieter conservative upbringing, and I was ready for that big university to really spread my wings. And when I spread them, I spread them. Woo! I had the most fun. I did every typical thing you do. I got in trouble. I hung out with people I shouldn't. I hung out with some of the best people who I'm still friends with. I met my best friends. I met my worst enemies. I had like one of the best college experiences in the world. But knowing me, that was not without its faux pas, not without its wackiness. This is one of the few trips I took to the hospital while going to college. So okay, every college town, at least from what I've gathered, every college town in the universe has that one bar, maybe a couple, that are, we'll say, lax on IDs. We had one in particular. I will not mention its name because I do not want to jeopardize its well-being, because I love that garbage establishment. Gave me some of the most fun times. But we absolutely had one of those, meaning I was already able to get into a bar and drink my freshman year of college, like third day there with the fakest ID you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, so embarrassing. But we all have that bar. So this story starts there. So at said bar, there are like multiple different rooms inside this building. Like this bar has a theme, this bar does, that bar, that bar, that bar. There's like 5 or 6 different ones in the building. And so I'm walking downstairs to a bar, one of the other bars, and going down to this one in particular, there's usually a line, and there are these concrete steps that take you down to it. So, hello hazard, drunk Blane, already very, very clumsy. These are already normally a problem for me, but this night turned out to be a particular problem. So I was waiting in line, we're just shooting the shit, drinking, of course, naturally, having way too much to drink and too much fun. So it's finally time for us to like get in, go down. I'm walking down the stairs and the inevitable happens. I slip, but how I slip, it's like my foot goes out from under me in front of me and my other one kind of like crumbles behind me. So I'm like kind of in like a middle split on these stairs. Oh my gosh. So when I tell you I'm not flexible, I'm not flexible. So bad. Oh my goodness. So I hit the ground, hit those stairs. Immediately I'm like, ow, what the fuck? What is happening? Ouch. My friends help me up. No big deal. We make our way. I like shake myself up. I'm like, oh my God, let's go. We make our way down into the bar. Okay, so we finally get down to the bar. We're standing there, we're waiting in line. And I turn to my friend and I'm like, fuck, that hurt. She just looks at me and she's like, girl, it looks like it did. You hit the ground like a mother. And so I'm like, we'll solve this with tequila. Famous last words. So I get to the bar. I order 2 shots, one for myself, one for my buddy. We take the first shot and I'm like, oh, that sucked and this still hurts. Let's do another one. So I order the second shot, we take it. At this point, I turn to my friend and she is ghost white. Ghost, so pale. And so I'm panicked. I look at her and I'm like, what's happening? What's wrong? And she just looks at me, looks down, looks back up, and is like, we've got to go. Okay, so my friend starts dragging me out of the bar and I'm like slightly bewildered and I have no idea what's going on because, you know, still drunk. And so we finally get like outside of that one little bar room, like back into this hallway area. And she goes, Blane, look down. I look down and I realized why she was so pale. When I had fallen, I must have landed on one of my testicles because the right one was the size of a grapefruit. I exaggerate not, a grapefruit. The panic. The panic that ensued shortly after. So I don't even know what to do. We immediately run upstairs, call any friend that isn't out with us to take us to the hospital because it is go time. Okay, so right before we hop in the car and head to the hospital, I'm gonna show you what palette I'm using. I'm using the Becca Pro Glow palette. This was limited edition. Right now it's 20% off the website. It is stunning, one of my favorites. I reach for it all the time. Okay, so my other friend finally gets there, whips up in their car, and they're like, let's go. So we head off to the hospital, which you know I'm very enthused about. If any of you know me very well, you know that I really hate the doctor. Hate the doctor. Do not like to go, don't want to go, don't make me, you can't make me. If you try, I will be a brat. But in this circumstance, you know, it was kind of I had no other choice. So had to go to the doctor, here we go. I'm not excited, but it's time. So we get there, we immediately go to the emergency room and I can't tell you how exciting and how good it makes you feel to walk up to an emergency room desk and go, hi, I hurt my balls. I didn't know what to say. But so I walk in, I tell this woman that she goes, excuse me. I like explain very quickly what had happened and she immediately is like, okay, let's get you going. So they get me back to this little room. This doctor comes in and he's like, hello, have you been drinking? And I'm like, yes. No judgment. He was just asking for, you know, medical purposes and whatnot. And so he goes, okay, well, this is going to be pretty uncomfortable. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, he'd already looked at it at this point. He goes, well, there's fluid on it. And from what we've seen, probably just need to drain the fluid off. Excuse me? He goes, we'll need to drain the fluid off. And I say, okay, okay, what does that entail? And he goes, well, we'll give you a slight lidocaine numbing agent and then we'll lance it open and drain. Said, excuse me, sir, no, we're at our second panic attack of the night. It's a fun-filled eve. So after my friend calms me down and she's like, you're gonna be fine. It's not a big deal. Lidocaine makes it so much better. It's not gonna be terrible at all. Liars. Liars. So they finally calmed me down. I've decided, okay, fine. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to do it. It's not my favorite situation, of course, but it's gotta happen. So they get me numbed up, lance it, drain it. It's horrible. They have to give me a couple stitches. That's a freaking dream. But it is what it is. I've made it, I'm through it, I'm over, I'm leaving the hospital. It's at this point like 4 in the morning. It is really early or late, depending on how you look at it. And I'm just ready to go home and pass out. So I go home, I wake up the next day, feeling like a dream in every way, shape, and form. Physically, not hungover at all. And I'm realizing, I wake up and I realize, oh shit, I have to work today. No big deal, my job's pretty easy. I worked at a makeup store at the time, and I was like, that's chill, I'm just gonna be hanging out. It was like probably a Sunday. So I was very unconcerned with what I was gonna have to do. I knew what I had going on wasn't gonna interfere with that. No big deal. So I get to work, I'm shockingly on time. Don't know how I managed that for once in my entire freaking life. And I just told my manager, hey, I had a little bit of an incident last night. I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm a little sore today. And she goes, oh, no worries. Like, don't stress, we won't have you doing anything. I'm like, okay, cool. Not worried about it, I'm just gonna chill and enjoy my day. She's like, that is totally fine. So I'm just going through my time, no big deal. It's maybe the last, I'd say 30 minutes of my shift. Like, I barely have any time left. I'm just like cleaning stuff up, making sure my drawer is all good to go, and I'm getting ready to head home. And so I have my drawer, I'm walking to the back, and I trip over like a small step ladder I didn't see sticking out of the side of like a gondola. Fall, drop the register, money everywhere. And when I hit the ground, I hit kind of weird, and I knew instantly that I'd ripped my stitches. Ripped my fucking stitches. Why? So needless to say, I got to wander my way back to the hospital, go to the same doctor, and explain to them that not even 12 hours later, I had fallen at work and ripped my stitches out and had to have them redone. And let me tell you, when it hurt the first time, it hurt way fucking more the second time around. And oh, it was more or less one of my least favorite evenings out ever. So when someone talks about busting your balls, let me tell you, that bar literally busted my balls. Okay, finishing up with the Becca highlighter in Pure Pearl. This is stunning. Mentioned this in my current highlighter favorites video. So moral of the story, end of all of this, I ended up fully okay, fully recovered. Everything was fine. But I would recommend, you know, stretching before you go out, or if you anticipate a squirrely evening, maybe limber up. Cause you know, in the end, that could have saved me from all of this. If I was a gymnast or if I stretched a little more, maybe I wouldn't have gotten hurt. I'm kidding, that's ridiculous. But it was super, super funny. Looking back at it now, I can laugh at it. At the time, I thought my world was ending. I was like, I'm infertile. I'm a gay man who doesn't want kids. Why does that matter? So everything ended well. It was a stupid story, and let me tell you, when I told my parents about it, like a year after it happened, they also thought it was pretty funny. So all's well that ends well. But here's the finished look. I feel it's super, super cute, really dewy, really glam. And it was super fun to just sit here and talk. This has been my saving grace during quarantine. It's kept me sane. The makeup brings me so much joy. Talking to you guys brings me so much joy. But that brings us to the end of the video today. If you like what you saw today, you want to see more content like this, don't forget, like this video, subscribe below, hit that notification bell, and thank y'all so much for watching. I love y'all.